Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Cast. Welcome back to another episode reaction of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This time I'm on episode 4. So an interesting development has occurred. Apparently, something I didn't know about but I learned just between recording the last episode and this episode is that Frieren, the series, the first 4 episodes act as a bit of a prologue, and then the real story starts after episode 4. And apparently the first 4 episodes all aired together. These are things I had no idea of. I heard someone initially mention before I started the show that the first episode was extended length, but when I went and recorded episode 1, it was normal. So maybe these were all 4 put together in one. I'm not exactly sure how that worked, but here we are. We are on episode 4, the last episode of the prologue, I suppose. In the last episode, Frieren and Fern, they resurrected and then fought and killed Qual, who was an old archdemon whose magic was very outdated, but he was still really strong and really smart. And it left it pretty open-ended. Of course, Fern got her birthday present. Frieren's still going on her journey of learning more about her friends and just learning more about life and the people around her, which is always sweet. I'm looking forward to getting into it. I'm wondering if something is going to happen in this episode that maybe kicks off the main plot, or how they're going to finish off what is essentially the prologue of the story. So if you guys are excited, please be sure to leave a like at the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to watch my early access reactions to the next episodes right now, you can do so over on my Patreon. The Soul tier is 1 week ahead and the Ascended tier is multiple episodes early. You can go check that out now. The reactions on Patreon are also extended length, meaning that you get more reaction and more discussion to go along with each and every episode. And with that being said, let's jump into episode 4. 28 years after the death of Himmel the Hero, the Grand's Channel, located in the Central Islands. The Central Islands is where Fern was initially from, right? A refugee? Maybe we'll learn more about the war that's going on that left Fern as a refugee or an orphan. Flamme. Nice. Yeah, I do still kind of wonder the scope of like Frieren's utility with her magic. Can she like just levitate the ships and just throw them off somewhere? Interesting. She might come across a real thing at some point. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like I said, I have no idea how long this would take them. Something I know, just to bring it up, I don't know if this Flamme, jeez, I don't know if this character is going to be important to the story or not, but somebody left a comment on one of my videos pointing out that the names are German, or at least German in origin, and Frieren sort of means like freezing or something like that. Himmel, I believe, is more of like a hero thing. All of their names had meaning, but I remember Frieren's was relating to like cold and ice, which can obviously be reflected in her white hair and cold personality. But Flamme, I don't speak German, I don't speak an ounce of German, but it sounds kind of like flames, or it looks kind of like flames. Might be a fire reference. Could be something to keep in mind if we do learn more about this character and their relation to Frieren. So something I'm also wondering is that obviously we're following a pair of mages that travel around, but I'm not exactly sure how like prolific magic is in general, like what % of the population that lives in these places can actually use magic, because, and I know I'm just being a critic of something that doesn't even need to be criticized here, but I'm looking at this town, and granted, again, this one might be a little bit war-torn or whatever, or there might not be many people here, but like, you would think that they'd have nicer places to live if everybody can use magic, or if magic's like a common thing. You'd think there'd be some like construction magic or something, right? I mean, maybe it's just me. Obviously, we've seen a lot of very pretty places in the show, but it's very accurate to the fantasy genre, gotta say. That's not really a criticism, it's just something I noticed. If I was someone living in this world, I'd get some nice construction magic, build myself a palace. She's not a morning person. Always sleepy. That's so funny. The immortal elf can't get up in the morning. There's no urgency to do it, I guess. That would be kind of a badass benefit of being like essentially immortal or living for a really long time. You could sleep as much as you want and never feel guilty. Okay, so they do have some magic for stuff like this. It's maybe a bit limited in carrying capacity. There's no rush. That's a good question. Probably Himmel. Maybe she thought her time in that party was a little bit more exciting. More reason to get up in the morning. Why is that like the most angry thing someone can do in anime? Click their tongue. Anything but that. And interesting that I bring up that her name kind of means like freezing or whatever, but she doesn't like the cold. What does that mean? Had she like been here once before? Sounded like there's history there. Well, we're definitely gonna get a beautiful shot of that at some point then. Or maybe this will be a wake-up call, literally, for her to wake up early and see the things she doesn't normally see. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but if you can do that, the beach cleanup should not take that long. I gotta be that guy, I gotta say it. Just say yes. Good. Okay. Yeah, Fern noticed that too. Don't go to sleep. Pulling all night. Yes, exactly. You want to know if you're missing out. No, I get it. It makes sense. Gotta try it at least once. Oh my. Okay, that makes more sense. I see. Wow. Emotional FOMO. That's crazy. I wonder if Frieren's parents are still around. I mean, why wouldn't they be? It is pretty. Yeah, but it was. Nah, it'll click for you. Something about it. It's about doing it with your friends. It's more enjoyable than a forgettable morning in bed. Yep, there you go. She didn't mean it like that, but yeah. Alright, episode 4. That was a nice little intro to the episode. It's kind of a long one, but not bad at all. Difference in ideologies a little bit. Very logical. Yeah, I agree with him. Well, it doesn't really matter what happens after we die. We only got one life either way. Might as well make the best of it.
あるべきものだと思います。その方が都合がいいからです。必死に生きてきた人の行き着く先が無であっていいはずがありません。だって天国で贅沢三昧していると思った方がいいじゃないですか。
It's a nice thought. I'm not gonna get like too I'm not gonna get too religious or too like philosophical about it, but I don't really understand when people say that like they deserve something better, or like particularly I don't understand whenever they say like the idea of the going into nothingness is scary somehow. You won't know that you're in nothingness. Like nothingness is nothingness. Like you don't have like consciousness, you know. So it's not like a scary thing. You won't even know. You know, a meteor could fall out of the sky, come crashing through my wall, and kill me in like 1 millisecond, and I would never even know it happened, and I'd never feel it, and that would just, I mean, yeah, it'd be sad for everybody alive, I guess. Unless you dislike my videos, then maybe this isn't such a bad thing. But my point is, it's not so bad. I don't mind the ideas of like heaven or reincarnation or nothingness. Like whatever happens, it happens. The only thing that's like scary is the idea of like hell and like eternal damnation and stuff. That's a little bit like, I hope that's not real, because that would suck. But no matter what I believe in, I'm not trying to go there anyway. So I wouldn't live my life in a way that reflects that or puts me in a spot that gets me there, hopefully. Oh, are we getting Eisen in current day? Nice. Good to see he's still around. The second to last remaining party member. I'm here to hang out. What's up? Well, she hasn't changed much. Prehistoric times. Yeah, I don't think we definitively know how old she is. Alright, so this is coming back into play. You must know that. What does he mean you must know that? Fern, come up with a better idea, please. Okay, yes. Yeah, it's an easy way to write it off. I like Eisen, he's such a cool dude. Oh, dang, alright. Old, but definitely not weak. God, he's running on water. We always do have to have like some side quest every episode, but it's always fun. I like how they can literally float or fly. What are the capacity of that is? What does that mean? Conversing with the dead. Well, you wouldn't see him, you'd just speak to him. Ooh, I don't know if I want that either, though. It's nice. It's pretty obvious to me that Eisen has nothing but good intentions here, and he just wants to help Frieren find a bit of closure in things, but at the same time, I'm not really sure if I want her to be able to speak to Himmel, because for one, I don't really know if it's going to be like an accurate Himmel. There's a lot of bad stuff that goes on with reincarnation in anime, and I don't want to mess with that. Evil zombie Himmel coming back, but like more realistically, there was a lesson for Frieren to learn in her mistakes with Himmel, you know. Her not finding closure has changed her, but it's changed her in a pretty good way. And I think most likely, based on the look of her face in this scene, she doesn't even know if she wants to speak with him or not either, because in some way it might invalidate a few of the other things that she's been trying to change about herself for the better. I don't know. This could go a lot of different ways, but I just want to put out there that initially on this, the idea, my feelings are mixed. Yeah, this is a huge tree. Interesting. So massive tree with a magic barrier. No one's ever thought to look into this? Oh? My master's hand. Is Flamme? Was that the master? This must be... Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Wow, okay. I don't want to stop, but okay. Flamme was a human. Man, these German names are hard for me to say, because I feel so unconfident in saying them. Human Mage, Master of Frieren 1,000 years ago or something like that. The real notes. That's so cool. She knew exactly what she would need. Yeah, sounds like it. She called out your exact mistake. Oriole. Whoa, wait. There's a heaven on earth that souls are at? What? Wait, that's kind of insane. Maybe the world is really just that vast and unexplored. Huh. Yeah, that's it. That's kind of what I want to know. End. Oh. He's giving you the quest. It's really interesting that Heaven and the Demon King are in the same place. Yeah, there's just a lot of like contradictions in the things going on. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but like the place that's supposedly heaven and then Demon King, which makes me think of like hell and like evil. You know, you got heaven and hell. You've got Frieren and Flame or Flamme, the fire and the ice. It's really interesting. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose or if that's just a coincidence. Wait, sorry. I'm blanking. They killed the Demon King. The Demon King's dead, so it's just his empty castle? I don't know why I forgot that for just a second, but like, I forgot we started the story off with we already killed the Demon King. Yeah, I don't know, sorry. I don't know how that slipped my mind. Right, they already went through everything they needed to there. I mean, come on. She might not be the most responsible, but she's definitely a good teacher. That's not true.
フリーレン様が私を弟子にしたのはハイター様との約束に過ぎませんから。
そうか。
ですが、とても不思議な人なんです。
I think that's the truest thing you said.
誕生日にプレゼントをくれるようになったんです。
She obviously cares for her, but she's just not the same as everybody else.
何を考えているのでしょうね。とても不思議です。
Yeah, being alive for 1,000 years will do that to you, probably.
弟子を取ったりはしないのか。旅は話し相手がいた方がいい。
時間の無駄だからね。いろいろ教えてもすぐ死んじゃうでしょ。
フリーレン、人との関係はそういうものじゃない。
そういうものだよ。みんなとの冒険だって私の人生の100分の1にも満たない。アイゼンならわかるでしょ。
Because Aizen lives long as well.
今日はめでたい日なんですからね。飲みましょう。
酒を飲む理由が欲しいだけだろう。
バレましたか。
I don't think he needs a reason. It's kind of a shame. Kind of a shame that they were humans and died so soon. Because I love Hyther and Himmel. Yeah, she's definitely changed a lot.
ああ、前にも言っただろう。俺はもう足手まといだ。
そっか。
エンデまでの道のりは。
Aizen lives in a cave? That's kind of sick.
すまんな。長い旅路になる。俺たちは10年かかった。
Gotcha. So maybe that is what the story is about, reaching this place. Oriole, I think it was called. Is she remembering it fondly? It'll be a mere 10-year adventure. That's what she called it initially, right? Interesting. Alright guys, that wraps up episode 4 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. So they're setting off for Ariel, I think it was called, Heaven, the place where souls rest, where you can actually speak and converse with souls. I don't know if that's actually going to be a real thing, or if that's like part of the lesson that Flamme is trying to teach Frieren. I'm just going to call her that for now because God help me with these pronunciations. I'm pretty good when it comes to Japanese pronunciations. I have a pretty good memory for most things as well, but like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the German tongue, so I might be butchering these. I'm sure you guys already realized with me trying to say Himmel and calling him Heimel. It is what it is. But the point is, I'm wondering initially if this place is actually real. Like, Flamme saw in Frieren's future that she was going to make a great mistake and wish she knew people more. She basically predicted everything. She even had the book open to the right page for Frieren when she came to visit, but that really just makes me wonder if there's a point in her talking about this end journey where souls rest. Like, if the souls aren't actually there, is there a message in that she's trying to pass on to Frieren as well, that it might be more about the journey than the destination? Because I mean, that might be a pretty important thing for Frieren to understand. Like, you really need to stop and take in these journeys because these journeys don't last forever. And once you enter the destination isn't really what you're there for all along, right? Like, Frieren beat the Demon King. What did she really gain out of that? Not very much. What she's sitting here dwelling on is her journey with them and trying to learn more about them and not wishing the journey was longer, but wishing that she remembered it and she properly enjoyed it. Not wishing that she didn't defeat the Demon King yet. That's not really what it was about. I don't know. I'm just like sort of speculating here. It almost doesn't seem likely to me that we'll actually end up in a place where we can speak to Himmel. Like, I don't know. Like, this just doesn't seem like an aspect of the story that I can see happening, at least not at the current stage. But maybe it is real. Maybe one day we'll end up there and we'll have a nice, long, healthy chat with Himmel. And I wouldn't mind that for the record. Like I said, it's a shame that they were human and they died so early, that they didn't live as long as Frieren, because Hyther and Himmel, some of my favorite characters in the show up to this point, easily. And especially for Himmel, we hardly got to see him at all. We only see him in like little glimpses of flashbacks here and there, but yet all the time cards are dated after the hero Himmel's death. The story really is about him just as much as it's about anybody else. He is a main character, even though he died within the first episode. I'm really stoked to see where the story goes from here. I'm wondering if the episodes are going to be a little bit less side questy and more of like a main quest now that we're on this 10-year journey. But I guess we're gonna have to find out next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave a like on the video, and of course, I'll see you next time.